record sa nako. Okay. Kalimtan nako. Again, indigenization. It is the start of recognizing indigents from the word indigents, yung mga natives. To address the problem of our country having no direction. Na, naging inspirasyon yung mga ninuno natin. So let's go to 2.3. Diri sa ato ang nasod, the first social science that was taught was basically history natin. Even before 17th century. Yung kasaysayan. Of course, anthropology in the earlier years, yung paano tayo nakipaghalubilo sa ibang tao, na paano tayo nakipagkalakalan sa ibang bansa na malapit sa Pilipinas. Paano ba namuno ang ating mga ninuno? Yan. Paano ba ang pag-isip noon? Ang pag-isip ba sa una kay Black Lives Matter ba or equality ba? Or yung mga babae noon hanggang sa mga house chores lang. Hindi sila pinapayagan na mamuno sa komunidad. Na the history. Yan. By the time the Americans colonized us after Spain, they realized na kailangan magkaroon ng eleksyon. Hindi pwede na itatakda na lang sinong mamumuno. Kailangan na ang mga tao ang pumili sa kung sino man ang mamumuno sa bansa o sa kanilang lugar. Pasalamat tayo sa America, introduced us to free elections. And soon after, na-introduce na rin sa atin ang fair elections. Kung saan hindi lang patas sa mga kandidato, pero patas na rin para sa mga lalaki at babae na bumoto. Yan. That is one of those influences ng American sa atin. First, they influenced education. Next, they didn't really affected our religious. Ito ang pagiging relihiyoso natin. Hinayaan nila yung tinuro ng mga ninuno natin at ng mga Espanyol. But one of their contributions was this, elections, politics. Mauna, during the 1900s hanggang 1930s, napakaraming lugar ang naging munisipyo, syudad, naging riyon. One of those is Davao, the city of Davao. Na kung nagbasa mo sa history books, the city of Davao was inaugurated during American period. Sa panahon ni Manuel Quezon. 1937, naging syudad ang Davao. Na, the same goes with other cities. Zamboanga, Baguio was inaugurated 1903. Panahon ng mga Amerikano. That's why napakaraming mga American landmark sa Baguio. Also, during that time, nung 1900s, early 1900s, na establish with the help of Americans yung Universidad ng Pilipinas. The same goes with the Philippine Military Academy. Karaanan na. But anyway, because we have a rich history, regardless kung sinakop ba tayo or hindi, the sense of having our own freedom today, kasarinlan, would relate to the Filipinos having that sense of nationalism and patriotism. Unsa nang nationalism and patriotism, my friends? As what was shown to you or nasa scene ninyo, nationalism is the means to unity or importance to unity by way of cultural background, including the language or the languages we speak and the heritage we have. Kung ano mang mga dialect na sinasalita natin or pinagsasalita natin, basically ang history sa TOA, the history of our country. For example, kung Ilonggo ka, sense of nationalism includes being a Filipino, mahimo kang Ilonggo or Bisaya, and you're being proud of it, di ba? Daghang or rich ang history ng Pilipinas kahit saan man. When we say patriotism, it pertains to the love for one's country with the emphasis sa values and belief. Na patriotism, naniniwala ang isang Pilipino, na kailangan panindig natin ang pagiging Pilipino at maiprotekta natin ang bayang Pilipinas laban sa kung sino man ang mananakop. During the time of Rizal or during the time ng Spaniards, hindi masyado na ibahagyan sa buong Pilipinas. Kasi limited lang ang resources at malawak at mahigpit ang kontrol ng mga Espanyol. The same goes during Japanese period. But still, at least, merong mga tao na ipinaglaban yun. Those are the heroes we had. Or the heroes we have na sila Antonio Luna, Jose Rizal, Andres Bonifacio, and those recent heroes, sila Del Pilar, si Lopez Haina, General Paul Santos, na Jose Abad Santos, yan. Mga bayani natin nung panahon nila. Okay? Next. So, in nationalism, as what I have mentioned earlier, it is unity by way of having a rich cultural background. So, when we have a community with a rich cultural background, may madedevelop na relationships, civic bonds. Of course, civic bonds is always accompanied with civic duties of every member of society in order for a nation to start or continue building up for the better. Yan. 'Di ba? For example, one of our civic duties is to defend the country in times that our country needs us. Kaya merong reserve force. Yes, Miss Lapes. May pangutana. Turn on your mic. Dahil lang si Lapes sa akong paunahon. Ikaw ang sunudain daw. I'll just... Sige.
Sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Oh,
Meron,
say
sir.
pangutana.
Ay, wala, sir.
Oh, napindot na naman. Napindot na naman. Sige, sige. Okay lang yan. Pindutin yun. Sige lang. Okay, Mr. Indawa, your question? Do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good afternoon there, sir.
Oh, may
And
buntag.
question ako, sir, is kanagong na-mention nimo is kanang depending sa ano country in terms sa armed forces lang siya. If ever ba, sir, nga kanang mangailangan ang country o kanang extra armed forces like kanang murag short na abot na shortage, sir, ba kay kanang example dagay na nga simba kog namatay. Ano ba ang ubang kuan ana, sir, kanang ubang government employees, sir, nga pwede sila makaano, sir, as a help of the country?
Kana, good question. Sige, thank you for that question. I'll explain it. I-off mo lang yung mic mo na.
Thank you, sir.
Sige. Okay, good question. Yung sinabi mo in times of national emergency, lahat ng bansa in times na magkaroon ng kaguluhan na makakaapekto sa kanilang bansa, those people, that are part of that country are expected to contribute in helping the country in times of emergency. For example, ROTC. During the time of national emergency, automatically kailangan ng mga ROTC members at yung mga sundalo sa force na maging fully active. The term is mobilization. Para meron tayong capability and additional manpower para madepensahan ang bansa natin. Sir, what if hindi ROTC na pagtapos? What if wala si WTS, ana, si Gsaya, o ana? So, kung unsay field nila, if kung meron silang makontribute during the time of national emergency, they would need to inform the government. They would need to help the government. Kasi sa mga kalamidad or sa mga emergency, walang aasahan ang gobyerno kundi ang sarili nitong mga tao. Sir, what if, sir, World War na? Na-short na og manpower ang Pilipinas. Ang mga doctors na private, na top na sila into government service. Ang mga teachers, sila na ang nagsilbing mga facilitator sa mga evacuation centers. Ang mga tambay, nahimo ng mga mandatory na mga sundalo. Kay ROTC graduate day ang tambay. Na battalion commander pa din ng tambay. Na so that comes if there is a threat to a country. Kung na-short na og manpower, that's the time na ang isang maliit na bansa mangangailangan ng tulong ng ibang bansa. That's why ang mga bansa or the countries must have a good international policy. Yung international foreign policy. Para hindi lahat ng bansa magiging kalaban. Sa panahon na kinakailangan ng tulong, makakatulong sila. Ganyan yun. Example, tong Yolanda, nganong daghang nasod ang nitabang? Because during that time, they recognize Philippines as a friendly country. Problema, asa na tong pondo ron? Diba? That's one of the questions that must be answered. So that's still part of a civic duty. Sa mga law enforcers or sa field nato, our primary civic duty is to support in defending our country. Kung doktor pa na, their civic duty is to support our country's interest by providing good healthcare. Kung sila mga social workers, of course, their civic duty is to ensure na yung mga tao sa mga lugar maayos ang kalagayan. The civic duty of accountants, civic duty ng mga nagbabudget ng pondo sa gobyerno is to ensure na yung bansa natin during emergencies would have enough money for a certain or a given number of time. For short, tanan, that's under politics. That's under controlling and leading a country. Nga naman, kay tanang Pilipino, by blood or on paper, has a certain attachment to the country. Yan. It is a binding affection between a person or a group of people to the motherland or fatherland. Wala may bayot land. Mother or fatherland man jud na. Diba? So, everyone is attached to the country, whether you like it or not. For example, pinanganak ka sa Pilipinas, Pilipino magulang mo, dito kayo nakatira sa Pilipinas. Kanya mo ang attachment na sa Amerika, kay tungod na dito sa Rihanna, or na dito sa Lebron, na the attachment is to the country of birth. The country where you pledge an allegiance. How do you pledge an allegiance? Siguro kung modern style na allegiance, manunumpa ka sa immigration. Pero you don't need an allegiance or an oath of allegiance kung pinanganak kang Pilipino because it is given to you upon your birth or even before you were born. Yan yun. Everybody's attached to the government whether we like it or not. We are attached to the Philippine nation whether we like it or not. Kasi ang kapital ng isang bansa ay ang kanyang mga mamamayan. The same goes with United States. The same goes with Germany. The same goes with Qatar. Ang kapital sa isa ka nasod ang iyang mga katawhan. Kay mao man ay maghatag og income. Mao man ay mo depensa. Mao man ay magtudlo sa mga bata. So civic bonds or civic duties that we do, whether we know it or not, is nationalism. Ginagawa niya ng mga tao dahil nakikita nila yan yung tawag or yung call nila, especially during times of emergency. Okay? Questions. Mag-extend ko og up to 130. Questions? Wala. Patriotism. Can I proceed there? Pwede na ako mag-proceed?
Yes, sir.
Sige. So, patriotism, defined as love for one's country or one's country of birth. Nga. Simply, it is having trust in your own country. Yan. Dahil dyan ka pinanganak, dahil dyan pinanganak or dyan ka lumaki, that is patriotism. You love your country. Devotion of one's country. Patriotism was derived from the Greek word patriot, which means fellow countryman or kababayan. And patri, that is the other Greek term, which means father. Na. So, tingala ko nga nung ang Patricia la, babae man jud, walay Patricia na lalaki. Patricio, oo, si Patricio lalaki. Pero Patricia wala joy lalaki ano. Again, patriot, Greek for fellow countryman. Patris is Greek for father. Someone who supports and acts in defense of his or her country. That's the deeper meaning ng patriotism. For short, yan yung loyalty to country. Okay? When we say patriotism also, yung connections natin sa land of origin natin, whether politically or hindi politically motivated, it always revolves around supporting the government of your country. For example, mga sundalo, di ba? May kasabihan sa kanila na habang may watawat pa sa tuktok ng flagpole, meron tayong trabaho. Yan yun. Napaisweldo. Because, of course, as we all know, policemen and soldiers, their basic duty is to defend the country against the enemies of the state. Kasi kalaban sa ato ang nasod. Of course, kung may mananakop, magiging enemies of the state yan. Once they become violent. But as of now, ang kalaban ng ating bansa, so sad to say, is only ourselves. Ang kalaban natin ngayon, ang sarili natin. Mga kapwa natin Pilipino. Kanang mga krimen, of course, kalaban man dyan na enemies of the state ang mga kriminal, mga rebelde. But as of what is happening today, our enemies are ourselves. Yan. Nay question? Okay, so next, I will explain itong Maslow's motivational theory. From the word motivational, from motivation, what drives a person according kay Maslow, Henry Maslow. Yan, Maslow's, oh God, erase. Maslow's motivational theory. Yan. The needs of belongingness, love, and self-esteem. When we say self-esteem, yung kumpiyansa sa sarili at sa ginagawa ay kinakailangan sa buhay ng isang tao. Of course, you need love. At hindi lang limited lang dyan, you also need people to lean on. You need a sense of belongingness na meron kang makakasama. No one is an island. Ika nga. So, you need love. You need self-esteem or confidence in what you have and what you can do. You need people to lean on. Pero hindi nasama dyan, Maslow's motivational theory also needs something to hope for. Ang tao na buhay because they have those and of course, they have something to hope for. Di ba? Di ba lahat ng tao may pangarap? For example, may mga babae siguro, sige, tanaw o Blackpink, pangarap nila pumunta ng Korea, pumunta sa YG Entertainment na makig-selfie sa Blackpink na po iba na for example, mga lalaki, pangarap nilang maging pulis na simula ngayon, siguro ginagawa nila ng paraan para makamtan ang kanilang mga pangarap. You need something to hope for. You need something to hope in order for you to continue living. Of course, kung pangarap mo maging pulis, pangarap mo maging sundalo, pangarap mong any dream, it still involves love for country. Importante yan. Ika nga ni Rizal, ang hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay mas mabaho pa sa malansang isda. Yan. Love for country is very deep. Questions, mga kaibigan, please turn on your mics. I still have around 1 minute left. Questions? Walay question si Valencia? Wala? Walay pangutana? Oh, the Bukol. Walay pangutana? Sa mga nakakonect karon, pasensya na kung collab akong ginagamit because this is much kung mag-present ko mas easier ni gamiton compared sa Google Meet o Zoom. Kabalo ko na kusog ka manguhag data ning panuhaka ning BB collaborate. Pero if I want to present or if I present a presentation, this is much easier and much friendlier sa inyo. So, kung wala na mo'y pangutana, I would continue this present or this discussion kung okay ra sa inyo ha by siguro tomorrow. Kung magsabot mo na mag-discuss ko again tomorrow. Okay lang ba? Sige,
Pwede ra, sir.
sige. Iset ra nato na. So, kung wala na mo'y pangutana, thank you. Again, please read your SIM. Kung di ninyo masabtan, na dictionary, take note. You need to take note. Yan. Hindi pwedeng basa lang. Intindihin natin ang binabasa natin kasi tayo rin ang gagamit niyan. Okay? So, before I leave, please check your LMS. Nag-attendance na straight hangtod Friday. There might be a quiz this Thursday. And your exam is ang availability the whole of Friday. Tibuok Friday available ang exam, I mean. So, if mag-open na mo og exam by Friday, it has a 1 hour validity. 1 hour validity, 1 hour time limit. Mura ra gihapon mo nagklase or nag-exam sa school, pero online. That's why, i-make sure ninyo na namoy continuous signal. Hindi maglolo ko yung globe. Langhiya ng globe. Okay? So, if you don't have any questions, that's all for today, guys. Essay, no. MCQ. We were advised na as much as possible MCQ. Yes, kinsa tong yes. Yes, sino yung may question? Chat nyo na lang kung hinay ang panuhak nga globe. Na? Okay na? Kasi magkaklase pa ako. 50 items? Yes. 50 items. Yes. Yes. Itong last na pangutana, Beldas. So, ayaw ka una ang mic, ayaw ka una. Na, madunggan na ako imong yes. Okay, so that's all for today. Di na ako maklaro, i-send na lang ninyo sa chat ang questions. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and God bless.
Goodbye, sir.
Bye, sir.